So, Rena, your first experience, how did you go?
I saw myself, actually when you told us to go to the cave
Mm-hmm.
of crystals, it was so luminous, everything was so luminous.
Yeah.
And I saw one of our senior meditation teachers guiding me.
Yeah.
He's based in Sydney.
Yeah.
But he looked younger,
Mm-hmm.
much younger. And then he led me to the place where my crystal is.
Mm-hmm.
I saw myself first as a boy. I was like the son of the king of a tribe,
Mm-hmm.
a certain tribe. And then I was just watching the village, busily going about, and watching my father lead the village. And then I saw myself years later as a grown-up man.
Yeah.
I think I took on the role of my father. I was wearing this huge... I looked like a Native American Indian.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the features of high aquiline nose. And I had this huge headdress.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wearing a huge coat.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like looking at the village, go about. And I was quite detached, I think, as a ruler. Like I just allowed them to go about their own business. And then suddenly there was commotion. There was a lot of dust, and it felt like people wanted to demolish the village. So people were dispersed. There was a lot of crying, moving around, running, and then I felt there was somebody hit my thigh with an arrow.
Mm.
I felt my left thigh was hit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I felt somebody wanted to kill me, so I pretended that I was dead. So I just lied on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, what I saw was only a few people were left. Like the village was demolished, dispersed. So very few people were left. And I saw, like I grew wiser. Like I felt I became more nurturing rather than detached. I started to take care more of the people around me, my family. And I started teaching them, and interacting with them more.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt that brought out the nurturing side of myself
Nurturing.
that I did not have before.
Nurturing and teaching.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the higher learning that you got?
It was that, like, I have to nurture, I have to engage my people in order to lead them properly. So I felt like there was also a feeling that I abandoned them, because there was some guilt that it's as if I allowed it to happen, but it was really out of my control, that we were dispersed.
Yeah.
So I felt, after that there was just poverty, there was just, I felt the lack of resources. We were just making do with what was left. I left the body peacefully. Like, my family, the people were taking care of me, younger people. And I just felt at that time there was love and honoring for me. So I grew up old. I left the body old. So for me, I think the lesson was resilience in the face of adversity, and nurturing community, nurturing culture, respect for cultures. That's why I have an affinity for indigenous cultures.
Yes,
Even in my own country. My first job was actually with an NGO that helped indigenous communities. So it somehow made sense. And I also loved indigenous wisdom. I used to read a lot of their mythologies and legends and the wisdom behind them, indigenous spirituality. And I remember buying a book written by a Native American man, agreements. So it had that wisdom that I resonated with, which was also care for the earth. It had a lot of respect for the earth and also human beings. And I had that, like, I wanted to create a culture of peace rather than war. So that's why in this lifetime, I think I'm drawn to spirituality, peace, creating an atmosphere of peace, because I've seen how war, really destroys communities and cultures. And it's interesting because I'm from a country that was colonized by white people, by America. So it was a Native American Indian. So I felt it was the white people invading our culture.
Didn't the white people do that to most cultures?
Yeah, including my culture.
So did you take that higher learning out into the future? Did you see yourself taking that out into the future?
Meaning here in this life? When I went back to the cave, there was, again, I saw that luminous light, and my senior teacher was there, dressed in white, and it was just peace, feeling of peace, and being at peace with that history, piece of story. I felt actually detached. I didn't have much attachment to it. It just gave some insight to what I'm carrying now.
And meaning, excellent.